The Miami Heat blow past the Boston Celtics in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals to head to their second NBA Finals appearance in the last 4 seasons. Miami destroys Boston 103-84, and Boston, this was a very embarrassing loss. Boston had a chance to come back down 3-0, and they had the perfect opportunity for Game 7 to be in TD Garden, the only time ever that the team coming back down 3-0 actually had home court advantage for Game 7. They actually had it, and they still couldn't capitalize. Boston hasn't been the greatest home team for whatever reason over the past couple of seasons. I don't really know why that is, but they could not capitalize today, and their season is now officially over. And now they have tough questions to answer with Jaylen Brown and everything on this team, because right now, they're championship contenders, but I don't know if they actually have it right now to actually go over the hump. We're going to get into specifics about this game, but the Boston Celtics in general, it just really doesn't seem like they have that championship heart in them. It just feels like they win a ton of games with just talent, but not like that heart and grit that you see with Draymond Greens of the world, Jimmy Butlers of the world, players like that, where they just feel like they gave everything on the court. It just feels like the Boston Celtics are very nonchalant, all skill. It really just shows in their games, even in the regular season or even looking in the playoffs. Like last year in the NBA Finals, they had a 2-0 lead and lost to the Golden State Warriors. A ton of times lately, they have decent leads and they allow teams to come back on them because they are so nonchalant with the ball at times. Especially Jaylen Brown in this game specifically. That man Jaylen Brown had 8 turnovers. At one point, the Miami Heat only had 7 and Jaylen Brown had 8. He had more turnovers than the entire Miami Heat team at one point. Towards the end of the game, Miami did get more turnovers and they did have more than him. But at one point, Jaylen Brown in the 4th quarter had more turnovers than the Miami Heat. Unacceptable ball control by Jaylen Brown, who is a very ball dominant player, and for him to not be that great, amazing of a playmaker, where he's not like Steve Nash out there throwing the ball a bunch where it is very risky to get turnovers. He's not really doing that. He's just very nonchalant with the ball, very loose with his handles, not tight handles or nothing. The ball just kind of slips out at times. Just unacceptable turnovers. And in a game like this, where it's Game 7, you cannot have stuff like that happen, especially with your second best player on the team. And with him only dropping 19 points on 8 of 23 shooting, he was definitely not making up for those turnovers at all in this game. Was 1 of 9 from the 3-point line, a negative 17 plus minus, a very bad game from Jaylen Brown. And realistically, he has not been very impressive either. And with his contract situation in Boston, there's going to be a tough conversation that's going to be had with the front office in Boston, whether they want to keep him or trade him or do something with Jaylen Brown, because this playoffs and this series specifically, it did not look very good for him. But someone it did look good for, out of nowhere, Caleb Martin was the hero for the Miami Heat for the past 2 rounds, I'd say. In this game specifically, dropping 26 points, 10 rebounds, 11 of 16 from the field, 4 threes out of 6 attempts. Caleb Martin was incredible, and genuinely at times, a lot of times actually, was the best player on the court. Caleb Martin throughout the entire Eastern Conference Finals was averaging 19 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, shot 60% from the field and 49% from the 3-point line, had a chance, had a very good argument to be the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, but it did go to Jimmy Butler, who also, of course, did play amazing, averaging 24 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, 6 assists per game, and got 2.5 steals per game. And obviously is the leader of the Miami Heat, would not be here without him, so I guess giving him the Finals MVP or the Eastern Conference Finals MVP is reasonable. But man, Caleb Martin definitely did have a chance at that. He was incredible during not just this series, but throughout these entire playoffs, and is definitely earning himself a bag. But for the Boston Celtics, we got to talk about what happened literally on the first play of the game today, with Jason Tatum rolling his ankle, and literally the entire game was dealing with it, grimacing. It just did not look like he was 100% at all. Even in the post-game interview, he was limping off really badly too. He was putting no weight on there. Even Derek White got hurt, he was limping off. It was not good. But even for the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler was also grimacing at times. I think he rolled his ankle a little bit. But for the Boston Celtics, those injuries really did look like they really hurt them, literally. With Jason Tatum only dropping 14 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, shot only 38% from the field and 25% from the three-point line. Like, it was just not a good showing from Jason Tatum. Now, he was hurt to start this game, literally the first play of the game. I do give him credit for playing the entire game basically, but he was not very good out there. A negative 12 plus minus as well. Before Derek White did get hurt, he was playing pretty well, but like really, Jason Tatum didn't have that good of a game. Jaylen Brown didn't really have that good of a game. That is not a recipe for success for the Boston Celtics, and from the jump, it didn't really look that good for them. The Miami Heat were up to a pretty decent lead in the first quarter, and they just kept stacking it on. And with their players getting hurt, the Boston Celtics I'm talking about, it just didn't look good from the jump. But for the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler had a pretty good game, dropping 28.7 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. Of course, Caleb Martin, 26, like I said earlier. But Bam Adebayo, who for the past couple of games has not been good, it definitely continued this game. That man was not good at all this game as well, dropping 12 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. On the stat sheet, doesn't look too bad, almost dropped a triple-double, but shot 40% from the field. A lot of those were really close to the rim. That man just, I don't know what it is, he cannot have his touch at the rim or his mid-range shot, he settles. Something about Bam, I don't know what it is. Also had 4 turnovers for a big man. For Bam Adebayo, he got to step it up for these NBA Finals, especially going against arguably the best center in the league, maybe even the best player in the league. Now, speaking of the NBA Finals, news randomly came out after I thought I saw that Tyler Hero was not going to play in the NBA Finals even if they made it. Apparently, he is going to be expected to return for Game 3 of the NBA Finals, which would be the Heat's home game. So that would be incredibly hype if Tyler Hero did come back for the Miami Heat. Absolutely huge. And with the fact that they're playing this good without him, that is going to be a crazy upgrade from coming off their bench or whether he's going to start or whatever. For the Boston Celtics, Joe Mazzulla, I don't really know how I feel about him. They already gave him that extension, I'm pretty sure. So he's going to be coaching there still. But Jaylen Brown, I just don't. This might have been the last time we see Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum play with each other on the same team. Because right now, that duo last year led to the NBA Finals, but they ended up losing there. And this year, this duo just did not look that good. Like, Jaylen Brown is very sloppy at times. Jason Tatum can be streaky. So I don't know what's up for the Boston Celtics, what they got to do. Malcolm Brogdon came back this game, hardly had an impact, I'm not going to lie. I don't know what the Boston Celtics got to do, but they got to do something. Maybe not massive, like trade Jaylen Brown or something, but they got to do something because right now, they are right there. They are right there to being the #1 team in the NBA. They are so close. Coming into the season where they got Gallinari, Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White was coming back. Like, this team looks so good. They look like a lot of people's #1 favorite to win the championship, and they didn't even make it to the finals this year. So they got to do something. Maybe it was health. Maybe it was Jaylen Brown. Maybe it was the coaching, but they got to change something in this offseason. But for the Miami Heat, they go to the NBA Finals, making them the second 8th seed ever to reach the NBA Finals and the first play-in team ever to make the NBA Finals. They went through the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round, the New York Knicks in the second round, and the Boston Celtics in the third round, I guess you can say, which was the Eastern Conference Finals. All seeds that were above them, and now their biggest task yet, the Denver Nuggets. And oh my gosh, this is either going to be a very good and interesting NBA Finals, like a chess match between Michael Malone and Eric Spoelstra, or the Denver Nuggets are going to destroy them. It's going to be either one. Cannot wait to see what it is. Hopefully it's the first of the two. But anyways, the Miami Heat survived the possible 3-0 comeback that was in the making by the Boston Celtics. It was getting scary for the Miami Heat. But before Game 7 even started, apparently the Miami Heat had already booked a plane to Denver for the NBA Finals. That is insane confidence if that's true. But if you like this video, hit the like button down below, subscribe button, notification bell so you can be notified as soon as I upload. And if you agree, disagree, or you're on the fence with what I'm saying, put it down in the comments below. And what is your reaction to this Game 7? And what is your reaction to the Denver Nuggets facing off with the Miami Heat in 2023 NBA Finals? And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.